About 250 miles from Iowa City in Champaign, Illinois, the Fighting Illini faithful had their own reason for optimism. Loaded with talent, Lou Henson had perhaps the most exciting team in all of college basketball. He had the Flying Illini.
It's Hamilton showtime. Nice dish. Oh, what a pass. Rejected.
That team had charisma, had style, had je ne sais quoi, the I don't know what. That's what that team had. We played above the rim. We brought in the baggy shorts that everybody started wearing. We just had something special.
We should have counted the dunks that year because Battle and Anderson were dunking the ball all over the place. Gill was a tremendous leaper. This was a really good basketball team, loaded at every position.
The Flying Illini were a collection of Chicago area high school phenoms who chose to stay at home and try to bring a national championship to the orange and blue. Led by number 25, junior Nelson Nick Anderson, he was as versatile a player as there was in college basketball.
They get a 4-on-3. Anderson!
That time younger than me, but tough as nails. And I remember trying to hand check him and almost fractured my wrist a little bit. I mean, was that strong, and you wouldn't see that in him until you tried to guard him.
Kendall Gill and Kenny Battle added unparalleled athleticism on the wings. The Illini flew out of the gates early in the season, sending notice that they were indeed for real.
We played at Louisiana State University at LSU, and Kendall Gill and I were charged with the duty of trying to guard Chris Jackson before it was Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf. Chris Jackson was quick as a hiccup.
The score was 61-51 at the half. And pretty soon I looked up, we had over 100 points. I took the first team out with 10 minutes to go, put in the second team. We scored 128 points and we set a record. Dale Brown came up and said, "Lou, I really appreciate your not running up the score." And he meant it.
That's when I knew that, we didn't have a Cadillac, we had a Ferrari.
Sitting on a 17-0 start to the season, the Fighting Illini, on the other hand, were soaring.
We beat Georgia Tech in double overtime, becoming the #1 team in the country.
Good night. Slam Jam Bam, #1 in the nation, the Flying Illini.
The Illini's 103-92 double overtime victory was a bittersweet one as starting guard Kendall Gill broke a bone in his foot and would be sidelined for a month.
Every great team has some sort of adversity they have to overcome. And when Kendall went out, all these guys had to step up. That type of adversity helped build the team to what it was.
The Illini would then go on to lose 2 out of the next 3 games. Their hold on the Big Ten Conference lead slipped away. By the end of the Big Ten regular season, it was Indiana's title to lose. The Hoosiers were 14-1 in conference play and had a 3-game cushion on Illinois as the Fighting Illini came to Bloomington in early March.
They had so many players that were interchangeable and were very athletic, much quicker and stronger than we were, and that's why they presented such big problems for us.
Indiana does not want to share this title as we look at the General Robert Montgomery night. They want to win it outright, and if they win here today, they have the Big Ten championship to themselves.
We had 2 great games against them, though. They barely beat us there at Illinois, and the game at Indiana was probably one of the best games ever in Big Ten history.
The 2 Big Ten powerhouses went back and forth for most of the game before some last-second heroics turned this game into an instant classic. Indiana's Jay Edwards hit an unthinkable shot, tying the game at 67 with 2 seconds left.
Gets it off.
I took the ball to the left baseline, falling out of bounds, and I believe the ball went over the backboard.
And I'm just standing there looking at it, and it hits nothing but net. So we're just fired up knowing that we're winning this game.
So once he hit that shot, me personally, I thought it was over. I said, wow, the game is over.
Well, first of all, Jay Edwards, in my opinion, according to the film, he was out of bounds when he shot the ball. But the referees, they're the bosses, and so it counted. But we had about 2 or 3 seconds to go.
Look at the smile on his face. Look at the smile. He says, easy, no problem. No problem.
I guess, Coach, I have to give him the credit. He drew it up just right. Steve Bardo threw it into me.
Remember, the clock doesn't stop until he touches it. I can't believe it.
And it went in all net. And we just bum rushed the floor.
Nick Anderson hit the shot.
I was so happy, man, and we knew right then we had something special.
to see the frown and all the faces drop in Indiana made it all that special.
What was disappointing about that is if had we won that game, we would have won the Big Ten outright.
And I rub it in every chance I get. Rub it just looks like a pie in the face.
It seemed like once he hit that shot, we didn't look back.
The Illini hit their stride even without Kendall Gill, winning 9 out of 10 to end the regular season, ranked #1 in the country. Gill's return with 2 games to play launched the Flying Illini back to full strength. Even though the Big Ten title was out of reach, the Illini Nation believed that their team was good enough to win the NCAA title.